Okay, we're going to do another lesson. I want to do a follow-up on brush control. In our last lesson, I talked about how wet or dry your brush is. Again, remember we start out, make sure you wet your brush first. Submerge it. If we go over here, submerge it in the water, squeeze it out, submerge it, squeeze it out, submerge it, water, squeeze it out, squeeze it out. 5-10 times. Make sure our brush is wet. That's very important. We need to understand that how wet or dry the brush is. This is a really wet brush. Very hard to control our painting when it's wet. And this is a very dry brush. This is a sponge. Use a sponge to control your brush. Most of our painting is not a 10 if 10 is maximum wet. And this is drying it out, get it down to a 1. Most of our paintings are around 4, 5, or 6, so get that in mind. And also keep in mind, I covered last lesson, is that you can pick up water in your palette. Watch out for that. The brush can get too wet. And if our paint is all hard and dry, it's very hard to get dark colors or rich colors. And I use tube colors and nice soft gooey paint, but not watery. Don't have a big puddle of water around your paint, or you're not going to be able to get strong colors or really dark darks. So watch how wet your paint is and how fresh it is. Make sure your brush doesn't get too wet. And then the other thing we talked about, this is painting on wet paper. There's no control. Your paint spreads out. It's pretty, but there's no control. Learn how to soften an edge, and this is what I'm going to talk about again today. This is the hardest technique in watercolor to go from a dark to a light. Let's do it again and watch how this works. And then I'm going to do it in color. So we start out with the number 5 amount of water, okay? So I run it over the edge. It's not 10, it's not going to work. Get it down to a 5. Come down here, and we get number 5 of water. We get a lot of paint here. We start out, we make this gooey, kind of like melted ice cream or melted butter, nice and gooey. And now we're going to go over here, and we're going to try making a circle. We make a nice C shape, okay? So we go like this, nice and dark, and within about 5-10 seconds, we're going to get rid of that paint. This has to be washed out. We go over here, rinse it out, dry it off in the sponge, and come back in, and within 5-10 seconds, with the brush down to number 5, maybe a 4, no paint in the brush. We rinsed it out, and we go over that edge. Now we rinse out our brush again, get rid of the paint, get it down to a 5 or a 4, maybe a little less water. That's a little wet. And we go over again, and we bring it down like this, and we go over that like that, and the brush now picked up some paint, so we have to clean it out, shake it out, dry it down, get it down to a 4, maybe a 3, and keep coming over like this and get it lighter, and shake the brush out again, dry it off again, and the last time the brush has no paint in it, and we go from a dark to a light. See how that works? It's the hardest technique in watercolor. Let's try it in color now. So if we go in color, if we start out with blue, just as we did before, number 5 amount of water, and we make a stroke like this in blue, okay? Now we clean all that blue paint out, shake it out, get rid of it. Now we're going to go over to our red. Here's our red. So we go over to red, you could go over to any color, get a nice gooey soft red, and we run the red with a 5 amount of water. Within 10 seconds, we run it right over that blue like that, okay? We clean all that paint out, clean it out again, go back to the red, try it again, get it down to about a 5 amount of water, go over that color again with red, clean that brush out. It's very dirty, bumped into the blue, shake the brush out, and now we go over to the yellow. So we're going to go down here to the yellow. Right here we get a bunch of yellow. The brush still has red in it. We get yellow. We have about 10-15 seconds to bump into that edge. And watch how I crisscross. I go back and forth. I don't do it exactly the same way. That's not good. Crisscross it. Do a little dance there like that. And then shake your brush out, clean it out, dry it off, get some more yellow paint, put some more yellow paint here like this, and crisscross it together like that. We're making a lopsided apple here. Clean the brush out, get more yellow, and end up with a nice yellow color. See that? We went from blue to red. The red and the blue bump together. They make a purple. Then we go to red, the red, then we go to yellow. The yellow and the red go together, they get purple. And that's how we do a face. So if we go into a larger brush, we take my larger brush here, take this brush here, first of all, wet it, dry it off. Let's try it a bigger circle back here. So now we do a big one. Let's do it big and fast, like in a portrait or still life. Here's a nice big stroke like this. See that? That's blue. You do it quicker like that. Could be a little bit wetter. Come down here like this. That's a nice rich blue. Practice these circles. Okay, that's blue. We've got 10 seconds to clean all that expensive paint out of the brush, hit the bottom of the container, shake it out. Now we're going to go down here to the red, overlap the brush. Half of the brush is on blue, half is on red. We go like that. Half is on white. We go over here like this, and it turns into purple. Blend those together. It's turning into purple. Now shake that brush out, hit the bottom of the container, hit the sponge, dry it off, get it down to about a 5 amount of water. We go back to the red and we run the red in here like this. Blend those together. Notice how the brush dances back and forth. It doesn't repeat the same path ever. It keeps changing its direction. We're going to get a little more red here and come in here like this. Half of the brush is on the blue part and half is on the red. Let's make it a little bit redder yet. Shake that one more time. Go to the red here, and we're going to put some red in here like this. All right, now let's go to our yellow. We got about 10 seconds. Shake the brush out. Every time we come back in, we have about a 5 amount of water. We come in here like that. Here's the yellow. We bring that in here like this. We bring that together like that. Shake it out again. The brush gets dirty. Every time the brush bumps in to the neighboring color, it gets dirty. Let's go in here like this. So the yellow fits in here like this. It comes on around like this. We bring those together, and there is our transition from blue to red to yellow. And in between, we get purple and orange. And you get a nice, if you practice this, you can get a nice transition from dark to light and a color change. But you've got to keep the brush around a 5. Okay, there's the dried thing. My battery ran out, so I had to have a break there. But that's the finished thing. Transition from dark to light, from blue to red to yellow, and maintaining the same degree of wetness as you go across, and don't keep repeating the same angle. Crisscross it as you go. Okay, that's it for this lesson.